Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Martha with Bird and Barn Designs, and today I am bringing you some thrifted treasures that I found in my travels in the past few weeks. It's been a hot minute since I've done a Thrifty Thursday video, so I had some things piling up and I thought I'd better get them filmed and shown so I can get them all put away. And Thrifty Thursday is brought to you by Sheree at Turquoise Dreaming, and Thrifted Treasures is brought to you by Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic, and I will link both of their channels in the description box below. If you haven't followed them already, you must. They have some wonderful things to share as well as projects that they do. So let's get into it. Let's see, where shall we start? First, I made a quick trip into Joann's and Hobby Lobby the other day. And of course, we all know the Joann's story, but my Joann's didn't have much of anything. I did get some muslin and some tulle on sale for 20% off, but not that big of a deal. And they had a 2-yard cut minimum, so you had to buy at least 2 yards of everything, or they wouldn't cut it for you. So I had chosen some laces and things that were kind of pricey, and I didn't want to, get too much of it. So I put those back, and we'll wait till they go down a little bit better. So I didn't do too good in there, but in Hobby Lobby I found some paper things, and I never get past the fabric and the buttons, and which I did up here in my little holder. I've got a bunch of buttons that I got there. Let's see, I got this one, and I got some of these, and their buttons are always on discount, so that was nice. So I got some other ones that I put away already. But then I found these paper things, and these are envelopes. Well, I thought they were envelopes. Actually, they're not. They're like a tri-fold paper. And from what I can gather, I think they're like for wedding invitations, that you can put your invitation in and have them nice and safe and pretty. But it's like a vellum paper. So I thought that could easily be glued here and here and made into a little, like a little faux glassine bag. Or you could do a pocket with them, or you could do them that way and make an envelope. Or you could cut them up and, use them for tags or things. So I thought for 87 cents, you get 24 pieces, and they call them wraps. They're an A2 size. So A2 size wraps, so I was tickled with that. I would have gotten more of those, but that was the only one left on the shelf. And then I got some tags, and these are also like vellum. They were $1.49 for 25 pieces. And I thought those would be beautiful in journals. So that's a nice weight, and they've got the little hole protectors, whatever you call those things, hole savers. So I got a couple sizes of those, and those, let's see, $1.49 for each. So those were good. I like that. And then I got some envelopes, and I hardly ever run across square envelopes that aren't like CD envelopes, and this was kind of a cool size. They're 6 by 6. And there is 24 pieces for 87 cents. And again, I got 2 because that's all they had. But I thought these would be great to coffee dye or tea dye and use in a journal. They've got a great, nice wide flap. You could hook them together like that and make a little folio. You could use them for up tucks or up flips or flip outs, any way. You can use them for pockets in your journals. So lots of uses for those. So those were my big box store items that I got. I was pretty tickled. And I did leave with a couple yards of fabric, which I usually do, but it was not on sale. I don't get to Hobby Lobby often because it is about an hour and a half away from us. So Joann's was the closest store, craft store to us. It's about 40 minutes away, so I'm kind of sad to see that go. But you know what? I've read an interesting perspective on that. They kind of shut down a couple other stores and the mom and pop shops when they got so popular. So maybe now it's time for a resurgence of the mom and pop shops. So I hope we can all support them. I know my family's been in business most of my life in one way or another, different family members, and now my daughter with their fiber mill. So we're big supporters of small business. So the first place I stopped at was my little Taco's Treasures, and this is the sweetest lady. She calls herself Taco, and she has an antique mall, and it's just full of treasures, and you really have to hunt. So I've been after some pretty crystal salt and pepper shakers, and I thought, how pretty would those be to put glitter in? So when you're doing your projects, you can just sprinkle it out, and they'll be pretty on your desk with all the glitter. So I got that set. Actually, there were 4 of them, but 2 did not have the toppers on them. So I just redonated those, but I got them for $2. I see there's a little like oxidation on there. I need to clean those up a little bit. I ran the crystal part through the dishwasher, but I thought those were beautiful. So I got those. And then I got these. And this was such a cool find. Look at these buttons. Look at how beautiful. This whole box was $5. And let's see, there's 2, 4, 6, 7 large ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 smaller ones. And they even have some of the fabric left in them, which I love. I love that. That is so cool. So I paid $5 for this box, and I had my little grandson with me, my 10-year-old, and I was showing him what I had in the box, and he said, "Grammy, I think these are something really important." He is so cute. So he looked up. We were trying to figure out what they say, and it's in a foreign language, so I can't tell, but it's got a crown with a cross in the middle. And I don't know if you can see that very well, but they're just beautiful, beautiful buttons. And the smaller ones are the same. So he immediately got on the phone and he looked them up, and he found some on eBay. And this appears to me like a crest of some sort, but there were quite a few options on eBay for them. And for 18 buttons, I think it was like $78 and something on eBay. So I got my 13 buttons for $5, so I think that's pretty good. And Bug, my little grandson, we call him Bug, he was equally as excited about the cool box that they came in. So that was a deal. I like that. And then I had checked out. I only found the 2 items that day, and I had checked out, and I was walking past this bowl on my way out, and it was filled with these keys. And the bowl said $5, and I didn't need the bowl, but I asked Miss Taco how much for all the keys. And she said, well, they're included with the bowl, so if you don't want them, if you don't want the bowl, she said, just take them. You're here all the time. So I'm like, I can't just take them. So she insisted. So I got all these cool keys for free. Look at that one. How fun is that? Really cool ones. Ooh, that was all dirty. I shouldn't have done that, huh? There. And then this one must have been a set of keys from a family. It says something about family. Oh, it was a Mercury car dealership. And that big one, these are cool. I love these. And this cool one. So there's all kinds of fun ones. And I will rust them. I'll put them in a jar and rust them. And this is kind of what I do with them. I alter them, put some pretty little designs on them. This happened to be a little butterfly tag that I had, or a charm that I had, and it fit perfectly over the back of this key. So I thought that was fun. So those will look super cute, like on a dangle or on the side of a book spine. So these little ones, smaller ones, you could use in your binding for your book binding. You could tie them onto the little strings at the bottom of the book and have them dangle. So those are fun. I was super happy about that for no money. So I spent $7 that day and got all these goodies. Oh, and even a cufflink. How cool is that? That reminds me of my grandpa. He always had cufflinks. Ooh, there's... Yuck, I should have dusted that off. So that was that. Let's see, where am I going with all of this? What next? Oh, there's a little shop in town here in our little country town, and it's called Out of the Attic, and they have, it's another antique mall, so you can rent a booth, and they have a Facebook page, and they post little goodies on Facebook often, and they had this on there the other day, and it was $3, and I tagged myself and said I would like it. So it's a little bird cage I thought was adorable, and look at how cute the doilies look in there. Look at all the doilies. These are all some of my smaller doilies that I have. I love to collect doilies, and these little tiny ones on top. And look at how adorable they fit in the little bird cage. And then when I'm doing a project, I can just go get it and set it on my desk, and it doesn't take up much room. And I've kind of migrated from my little office space here, my workspace, out to our living room. So I redid the stand that my husband built for under our TV, and it's now got like my vintage linen covers on it, and it's got a crystal cake plate with my bigger doilies in it, and then this, and then I've got like a crystal trifle bowl that's beautiful, and I've got appliques all in it. So it's a display, and I don't think my husband realized that I migrated out of this room into the other room. He just thinks it's pretty. So that was that. I got that one in that store, and oh, I got these. I love beautiful boxes, and look at this. This was $2.50. See, I don't know, it doesn't say, but it's got this little closure, and then inside is pretty. I need to vacuum them out and clean them out, but I thought, how pretty would that be? Like when you're doing a swap or something, you can, I've got dust from all these things all over, so you could fill that up with goodies and do a swap with it, or use it, you know, for display purposes. Here's another one, $2.50 again. Beautiful condition, nice wood. So that was that. They're lined beautifully. You could put a pretty piece of a doily down here to really pretty it up. You could do some collaging of something in here and on the lid and make it pretty. So I love those. Those were another find. And then along the box theme, I found this in another antique mall, and it was marked down to $1. And it's kind of a paper mache kind of, I think. It's got this pretty medallion on the top, and it has a lavender sachet inside that oddly still smells like lavender. I don't know how old it is, but it's very faded. But it still smells pretty. If I gifted that, I would, of course, put a nice fresh lavender in there. But I thought that was cute. It's a cute little box. So we got that. And then I found these. A stack of these containers for $1, 3 of them. And I thought those would be super sweet to decorate and put like a little mini journal inside. Or you could decorate them and use them as a goodie box and put some pretty little bits and bobs in there to swap or exchange with somebody. So I love those. And then this one was $2. And oh, I got this at Tacos as well. And it's a pretty cedar box. It's missing 2 of the feet, but I could pop those off and put some pretty beads. Like, let's see. Could put a pretty pearl bead on there for the feet. Replace those, so that won't be a problem. And then inside, it was full of all kinds of old shabby things. We've got hairpins, a match, like all kinds of random stuff. Another hairpin, some screws that I could rust up. Here's a vintage looking stamp. What does that say? Heloise's Work and Money Savers. And it's got a number on it, so that might have been like the green stamps or something. Somebody stores saver stamps, I would imagine. And then just, you know, full of stuff, pins and screws and junk that would be super cool, rusted up and used. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of cool. So little bits and bobs to figure out what to do with. So then I went on a doily spree, and I found a couple doilies in another shop. Look at this beautiful one. I love these ones with the really fine crochet. I think that's so, so pretty. That would be absolutely beautiful on the cover of a book. Let's see, I've got a book here. If you didn't want to alter too much the pretty covers of a vintage book, you could just shabby it up a little bit with a beautiful doily. So I love that. So that was one, and then this was another one that somebody coffee dyed. And I find, this smells like coffee so bad, but I find sometimes the super heavy coffee dye is not my thing. I like a little grunge, but not like crazy grunge. So sometimes I will rinse these under the faucet and it'll lighten them up a little bit more to like that, like this. So even though you get them already dyed, you can sometimes just rinse them a little bit and they will fade up for you. So this one was $2, and I think this one was $2 as well. But if I didn't use that whole, you know, you can cut it up and have 5 pieces there. So it will go in my collection. And then I went on a book spree. So I just love vintage books, as you probably well know if you watch me. And this one, I was after some music books. This is Best Love Songs and Hymns. And it's got someone's name written in it. It's got the beautiful yellowing on the pages. Let's see, this was from a copyrighted in 1961, which is my birth year, so I love that. And look at these beautiful pages. So, so pretty. Those will make beautiful additions to a journal. Look at that. This baffles me. Look at all this music. Like, how in the world? For people that are musical, I just salute you, because this looks like complete hieroglyphics to me. When I take my grandson to music lessons every Tuesday, I listen to he and the teacher, and they talk about the notes and the chords, and we've been going almost 3 years now. You'd think I'd learned something while I was there. I have no clue what they're talking about. And this is a good example as to why, because it's like crazy to me. That is so, so cool. Such a talent. So that was one book. I think this one was $2. And then, oh, what just happened to my light? Got a dark day here again today. In southern Indiana, we had snow 10 days ago. Yesterday it was 78 degrees, and today we're brewing up for a good thunderstorm by tonight. So, you know, if you don't like the weather out here, you stick around for half a day and you find something else. So this was marked 25 cents. I paid $1 for it, so I don't know where it was 25 cents at, but still for $1, I think it was good. Vesper chimes, Philadelphia, and let's see, there's pages missing, so I don't know when the copyright was. There's a pretty quote, far, far away like bells at evening pealing, the voice of Jesus sounds o'er the land and sea, and laden souls by thousands meekly stealing, kind shepherd, turn their weary steps to thee, by Reverend Frederick W. Faber. I love the special little quotes and things. But there again, look at how beautiful these pages are. And these are super, super silky soft, like really silky soft pages. I love that. So that was another one. And then this one I paid a little more for. This one was $5. Christian Praise Hymnal. And this one was copyright 1964. And so many pretty pages. These have not yellowed yet though for a book that old. I was surprised. So these would probably need to be given a tea bath or a coffee bath, but beautiful, beautiful pages. So that was that. So those were my music books. And then I got, these must have been library books because they have the tags on them. And I paid $1 for all of the rest of these books. Otto Ping, he was a photographer in Brown County, Indiana. 1900 to 1940 was this book. And this one was from one of the libraries, Princeton Public Library in Princeton, Indiana. But it had the most beautiful vintage pictures in it. Look at these. So, so pretty. I thought those would be beautiful pages in a vintage journal. Or you could cut out the pictures. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I thought that was something much more morbid. It's a little christening gown, a little baby in a christening, what does it say? Lacy baptismal dress. Oh, it is a burial shroud. Oh, gross. I thought it was a baptismal. That's a burial. We don't like that. Oh, ooh, there's a lot of burial things in there. Isn't that weird how people used to take pictures like that of their loved ones? I know my grandmother, when her dad passed away, they had him laid out in the living room of their house, she said, for like 4 or 5 days before they did the funeral, and people would come over and do visitation. That was in like probably 1930-ish. I think that's creepy. But back to more pleasant things. Look at that. Family pictures in front of the beautiful houses. So just really lovely images in that one. So that was a good find, except for the burial pictures. We will pass by those. And then poetry. Music and poetry are my love languages. I absolutely am crazy about it. So this has all kinds of poetry. Halves of poetry. Copyright 1966. And then it's got these beautiful, beautiful pages. There's what is poetry, then there's a foreword, and the paths of poetry. So it gives you a little synopsis. The founder of English literature, Geoffrey Chaucer. And it gives you some information on him. And then noble, gallant. So it's all about poets. And then mixed in, there's some of their poetry and some of the passages. So I love that. Absolutely love that. So that'll be a fun book. So again, $1. And then this book of poems was beautiful. I love the cover on this. So, so pretty. This again was a library book. 101 Famous Poems. And this was a little older, copyright 1958. But it's got beautiful deckled edge pages. I love that. And how pretty that looks with all the rough pages. I love that. So they feel like cottony. So those are pretty. And then there again, you've got the picture and then the name of the poem and all of the beautiful poems. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, James Riley. Beautiful, beautiful. Oliver Wendell Holmes, Walt Whitman, Philip Brooks, Eugene Field. So just absolutely beautiful book. I just love that. The only icky thing is somebody stamped an ugly stamp in there that says discard, but you could cut that off and use the top portion of that. So more pretties. Then I got a calligraphy book, and I thought that was beautiful, spiral bound. And I thought these pages, look at that beautiful lettering. I thought these would be beautiful in a book as well, with all the pretty pages. Shows you how to do different things. That would make a lovely pocket. Fold that in half and see all that pretty calligraphy there. So lots of pretty images in here. Look at that page with the italic. Beautiful. I love it. That's a gorgeous page too. Spanish round Gothic. So it gives you the different styles. It gives you the different brushes. This would be pretty to make a pocket out of one of these pages and fold this up and tuck that inside the pocket with a little, little information. So super fun. Oh, somebody cut something out of there. Oh, right out of the center. But, for $1, can't complain. And there's lots of pretties in the back. So that was another one. I love that. And then we got a book on vintage vavoom, romantic decorating with one-of-a-kind finds. And this one is a little newer. It's got the glossy pages. But look at these beautiful images. How pretty. And a vintage journal would be pretty. So this was, oh, this is really relatively new. It's from 2007. We need to tell the library to quit stamping that stamp in there. But look at all these beautiful pages. I thought there's so many pages to be cut out. Images. Now look how pretty these are. You could cut that out and put it on a tag. So pretty. And then it gives you instructions. Look at that beautiful page. That's like a dream dining room there. So I just thought the images were lovely. Lots of things that could be done with that. That's beautiful. That could be pretty in a Victorian journal. So even though it's relatively new, like look at this little section, you could cut this out, this pretty lady out. Crowns, you could kind of fussy cut some of the crowns. So I just thought that there was lots of pretties in there. Some oriental. Look at that shabby page with all the wrought iron. So lots of pretties. I thought that was fun. Fruits. Just different pretties. I love this page with the jars of vintage trims and buttons and fabrics. So that was another fun one. So even though it's not truly vintage, there's still elements in there that you can cut out and shabby up and make pretty. So this was a Better Homes and Gardens embroidery book. And it has the little pocket in there. This is copyright 1978, so again, a little newer, but it's got the beautiful yellowing of the pages. And again, I thought the pictures were just beautiful. Tells you different kinds of embroidery. You could cut these pages out and use them in a journal. Or again, you could make a pretty pocket. Say you made a pretty pocket out of this, or a tuck spot, and then you could cut that page out and fold it up, and it's got the directions on how to do a cross-stitch table runner. So I thought that was pretty, like in a fabric, a needle book or something. Look at that beautiful page. And then it gives you the finished image. So I love that. Here's a bunch of different ones here on how to do them. And there again, you've got the pattern, and then you've got the finished project. Look at that beautiful page with the vintage doll. So really, really lovely pages. I just thought they were gorgeous. So that was my book. Oh, there's a giant fish. That would have been cool if it was all on one page, huh? Guess you could make him the center of a journal. That would be kind of fun. Look at that page. That's so pretty. So that was my books. And then if you alter book covers, look at how pretty this back is. You could do something pretty on the front and still have some of the pattern showing through. So that was my books. And then because I don't have a lot of like, oh, one more item we'll show you. I went in Ollie's. Everybody's talking about Ollie's and how you can find good things in there. And I really didn't, but I did find this thing of artist oil pastels for $2.99. So I thought that might be fun to play with. I want to get into some mixed media and some different things this year, so I thought that might be kind of fun. So back to my last thought. It's like squirrel. I just saw that laying there. So because we don't have a lot of estate sales like close, like we have them, but I'd have to go across the bridge into Louisville, and I don't go over there by myself because it's not real safe over there anymore. And we're out in the country, like I've mentioned before. So, you know, there's estate sales, but they're sometimes an hour, 2 hours away, and I don't really go by myself, and my daughter's so busy with her store, she doesn't get to go with me much. So I shop on the YouTube online sales, and I have a couple favorites. Donna Dreams Times 3, she does great sales on Sundays, and she'll have all kinds of goodies, things she hand makes. She has beads and linens. And then Deb Ham, she has, she's 3 Hens and a Chick, I believe, on her channel. And she has sales quite often with beautiful vintage finds, as well as guests on her channel. So there's all kinds of things going on over there. And then Pearl's Finds, and Pearl is my most recent haul. So let me show you what I got from Pearl. And I will link all of their channels below, as well as the Thrifty Thursday and Thrifted Treasure channels, should you not know them and want to shop. So Pearl had these quilt pieces and this beautiful, beautiful upholstery trim. And I forget what I paid for this, but it was relatively inexpensive. I think there's 2 yards there. And I thought this would be gorgeous on the edge of a pillow, a beautiful pillow, or a banner. If you made a really pretty banner, that would be lovely. And then she had these shabby quilt squares. So these really tattered ones, I think she had these like 50 cents a piece, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought that would make a cool shabby needle book or shabby book cover for a little smaller journal. So I got a couple of those. And then I think these were $1 for the larger ones. But it's got all the beautiful quilting and the stitching. Look at this one. This one's all tattered. but you could, you know, cut out parts of it. You could fold that up into a pretty pocket, make it into an envelope, do a pretty envelope. So lots of fun things to do with those. I just love that shabby, tattered look. Very, very vintage. So those were the quilting squares. And then she has the best linens, y'all. Actually a couple of them do, but I am nuts about vintage linens, as you can see by my table runner there. Look at this beautiful one with the gorgeous lace edging, this vintage lace edging. Look at how beautiful that is, and the gorgeous open cut work there on the linen napkin. And that one was $1. And I've got a whole stack of them here. Another beautiful one. These were all $1, I believe. The beautiful stitching there. Look at this pretty one. I got 2 of these. Gorgeous bows. And these I love to make a beautiful envelope with. And tuck goodies inside if you do a swap. Fold those up nice and neat, and then bring this top down. And look at how beautiful that is. So, so pretty. See the pretty filigree edges there. You can either stitch that or glue it if you dare to take glue to the beautiful linen. If you don't stitch, you know, glue is perfectly fine. Or you can just pin it, you know, pin it with some pins and put some pretty bows on the pins to kind of hide the pins and make it so you can disassemble it and people can use it in their own projects. And you can tuck pretty laces and fabric swatches and things in there. Another beautiful one there. All vintage linens. Look at this one. This one has some yellowing. But I loved this size. Look at how pretty with the filigree work on the, or the scalloped on the side. That would make a beautiful book cover. So, so pretty. And I think this was actually a couple different hauls I got from her. Look at this one. Oh my goodness. This one really spoke to me. Look at how beautiful. That might have been like a dresser scarf, or it could have been a napkin, a beautiful napkin. But look at how gorgeous that would make a beautiful, beautiful cover. Or the other thing I like to do with these is kind of like the envelope idea, where you fold them up and do a light stitch there and bring the top down. Look at how pretty that would be, and then put a gorgeous vintage button there for a closure. Look at how pretty. So, so gorgeous. I love that. So that is that one. And then again, this one spoke to me as well. Look at how pretty this one is. Oh my goodness, I love it. And you could either cut sections out of it, like you could cut a row of these right here and put them down the spine of a book, or you could cut sections. You could cut, you know, like 6 of them and make a pocket. You could do page edgers. That would be beautiful down the side of a page. You could cut the individual ones and collage them. That would be so pretty. So I love that one. And then more hankies here. Beautiful soft hankies. Look at the pretty stitching. And then the little dainty lace edge on that. That one has a little bit of yellowing, but I don't mind that at all. It just adds to the vintage look. And they're so soft. Just gorgeous. And then this one. The beautiful embroidery work on there. Again, beautiful, soft feel to that. Beautiful little neutral stitching on there. So that was a pretty one. And then look at how sweet. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This one is going to be a hoard piece, I think. Look at how dainty and delicate this is. I can just see this in a beautiful needle book. I was working with lavender earlier. I've got lavender bits everywhere. Look at how sweet. So a beautiful pocket in a needle book, or actually just a page in a needle book. Look at how pretty that would be. So gorgeous. Love that one. And then this one too, so sweet. Look at the shape of this one. Look at how beautiful that is. Beautiful, dainty, really, really delicate lace on there. The beautiful embroidery. I want to learn how to embroider so bad. And then I love the shape of this. So there again, let's see, where's one of our books? You could do like that on a book, and then still have some areas to decorate, and then have it be beautiful on the back. So very lovely. Love that. And then this one, pretty, pretty. Again, the beautiful crocheted lace around the side. It's a nice big one. You could do lots with that. It's got the beautiful leaf pattern. There again, that one might be perfect to make a pouch out of. Sometimes when I sell some of my goodies, I will make a fabric pouch and tuck the things inside and send them off that way. So that would be super pretty. Love that. And then this one is a beautiful piece of lacy fabric. Look at that. That's that corded lace. And this must have been a piece of a curtain or a tablecloth or something. She cut them in like fat quarters, I believe. It's got the beautiful like eyelash trim on the bottom, and then that gorgeous corded lace. And these kind of heavier laces, they work beautifully for coffee and tea dyeing if you put them on paper. So you dip your paper in the coffee or the tea dye, excuse me, and lay it down. And then I dip my fabric in the coffee or tea dye, and I lay it on top of the paper, and I smooth it out. And then I'll kind of sprinkle some more over the top of it and just let it sit there until it dries. And you not only get a beautiful piece of dyed lace, you get the beautiful paper as well. So that's fun. Oops, lost my little flower there. And then here is a pretty doily. Love that. And then this beautiful napkin. It's got the beautiful scalloped on the edges, beautiful, beautiful linen. And then the sweet little embroidery piece there. And then lastly, she offered up a bundle, a vintage bundle, and she is wonderful at doing bundles. I've taken this one apart already a little bit, but look at how pretty this fabric is. Very muted. I love the neutrals. This gorgeous piece of ribbon, grosgrain ribbon. This fabric is gorgeous. I want to do a sunflower journal, but I didn't want it to be like so much yellow. So this would be perfect for the cover of that. So then inside, look at all the yumminess inside here. We'll flip it over. So we've got the beautiful, is this like laundry tape? You'll have to let me know in the comments. I don't know if it's like a heavier seam binding, or to me it looks like what they make the laundry tape out of. But I thought if you had some pretty small stamps, you could stamp on that, or you could take, if you have a sewing machine with decorative stitches, you could do a pretty decorative stitch down that. So that was beautiful. And then some coffee dyed little pieces here that can be used whole. Again, you could do that down the spine of a book. You can cut them up and use them individually. And then the pretty little doilies. I love these like shapes that aren't completely round, so that is so beautiful. There's 2 of those. Kind of unexpected. And then look at this one. Oh goodness, I was swooning over that one. Look at that, how delicate and vintage that looks. It's so light and so beautiful. It's got that Battenberg look to it. And then this piece, this was a beautiful piece of something. Look at how gorgeous that is. That vintagey color, I love that. And then we've got some muslin, pieces of muslin, which I love. I print on that as well as do other things. And let's see, where's my little, do I have my little piece laying around here? I was working on a project earlier. What in the world did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I stamped on it. So I tore some little pieces and stamped on it with my rubber stamps, and I'm making this little sachet, a lavender sachet, as a freebie. Someone bought some hearts that I made, some fabric hearts, and I thought that that was so pretty, little lavender stuffed, and I will make a little tag and put one of these little snippets, make a little snippet of lace and put that on top, and then dangle that from the heart. So there's all kinds of things you can do with the muslin as well. So I love that. And then a beautiful piece of linen. Nice big piece. And then this is like a woven, very textured, I forget what you call this. Very pretty, but nice generous pieces that you can use. More linen, just gorgeous. I love that shade, that color. So, so beautiful. And then this is a big piece of something, cotton of some sort. Beautiful. So a lot of these will be made into little pouches or envelopes. Here's another beautiful piece of linen. Nice big piece that's doubled over. And then this beautiful fabric. Love these muted tones. So that would make a lovely book cover, wouldn't it? And then this piece here, very textured, very pretty. Got some beautiful patterns in there, tone on tone. I love that. I bet that was a tablecloth at some point as well. And then big piece of muslin. I love this. Oh my goodness. Big, big piece. This has got to be a yard. And I bet it's probably like, what, the 45-inch wide muslin. So that is right up my alley. I love that. And then I got, she had these beautiful little spools with some vintage lace on there wrapped around, vintage wooden spools. So I got that. And then lastly, I got this big wooden spool. It did not come with the lace. I put the lace on there. But look at how pretty that is. Oh, I just love these. So she had a nice selection of those, actually. So then I'm down to a couple that, oh, this bundle here that we just looked at, I wanted to mention. I think this whole bundle was like $12. Like all of this for $12. So that was a steal. So you have to look these ladies up if you haven't shopped with them before. And then lastly, I have some freebies here, which, you know, can't beat that. So my daughter's friend who does crocheting for her shop, she does a lot of the patterns when the kids make new yarn and they have a pattern that they want to do. Kristen will make the beautiful patterns of the things. She just finished a hat. She just did a beautiful scarf a little while back out of some of the fiber. The kids, as I've mentioned, have a fiber mill where they make their own yarn from their alpacas. So it's all natural fibers. And if you have not touched or felt alpaca yarn, you just have to. It's absolutely amazing. So anyway, she works in French Lick, where the mill is, and she works for a place called Celebrate the Home, and they make these beautiful napkins, and you will find these all over the countryside. So they are made in Germany, and there's just all different patterns. Look at all these purple ones. So these are samples. These are their samples that had been discontinued. And Kristen came over one day. She heard me talking about the napkins and the journals and everything. And she dropped off a box with my daughter of these napkins. And the box is huge. I couldn't even fit it on my desk here. And I bet you there are at least 1,000 napkins in that box. And it's like coordinating sets. So you've got the tall and the square, the tall and the square, you know, just beautiful. There's all kinds of holiday theme. There's a ton of Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. You will find these napkins in specialty shops. Who was it? Oh, Pearl. She showed napkins the other day she was selling, and right on the front it said Celebrate the Home, and when she flipped it over it had Made in Germany. So I got tickled. I told Kristen, I just saw some of your napkins. But they have designers that come up with all these designs, and then the company's headquarters of all places is here in French Lick, Indiana, because I think Kristen said the owner of the company grew up here. So they moved the operation back here so that they could be close to family. But the headquarters is here in Little French Lick, which is about 20 minutes away from us. And they make all of these beautiful napkins, and they have an online store as well. A lot of home decor items, and just beautiful. So she gifted me with all of these napkins. So if you need napkins, message me, because I've got some. But the only thing is since they're their samples, they have stickers on the back. And if you very gently peel them, you can get some of them off. Most of the napkins, the stickers are only like one barcode wide. They're not this whole, like a lot of these have the whole one on there, but the majority that she gifted me do not have that whole thing on there. But I figure you still have a good 3 sections to work with, so you could very well cut these out and collage with them. So there's plenty there to work with. So that was one gift, and I am so grateful. So thank you, Kristen. And then my daughter gifted me with some little yarns. These are leftover from the new yarn line. They just created a new yarn line called Wild Sage Wool. And the kids spin the yarn, and their friend that they partnered with, she is Indigo Guinea Fiber, I believe is her shop name, and she does the dyeing. So the kids used to dye in their studio, but they just got overwhelmed with things. So now they're partnering. So they spin the yarn, and my daughter's name is Lindsay, and then the other Lindsay does the dyeing. So it's Lindsay, and my daughter's husband, Ty. So the three of them got together and created this new line. So look at these tiny little skeins. So she said, you know, is there anything you could use these for? Because she can't use them. Look at that color. I don't know how the other Lindsay, how she, and I only call her the other Lindsay because I have a my Lindsay and the other Lindsay. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but she is a doll. She is so cute. But I don't know how she gets these. Look at all these little specks and speckles in there. And then this one, they do have, let me get this right. They use something called fire starter to get the sparkly, like the glittery look in there. And I don't know if it will show up on camera, but finely woven sparkly threads in there. And that is called fire starter nylon. So there is like 20% nylon in these sparkly ones, and then all of the rest is 100% natural fibers. But oh my gosh, I wish you could reach through the camera and feel these. These are so soft. So I was thinking, what could I do with these? I was thinking I could make some pretty tassels with the remnants. I'm making some fabric bunnies for Easter, and I thought, how cute would these be, the lighter ones, to make little bunny tails, little foofy bunny tails. So lots of fun things to play with. So she's going to start saving me all of her mill ends. So when they process their fiber, they often have lengths of, they call them mill ends, and they're just like scattered all over the floor when they get finished winding them into skeins. So I told her to gather them up and put them in a bag and give them to me, and we'll start making stuff out of them. So I need ideas, my crafty friends. Let me know what you would do with little remnants like that. And bear in mind, I do not knit or crochet. My daughter got all of that talent, and I got none of it. So I don't know how to do that, but I thought there's plenty of things that those could be made with, used for. So that is my thrifty haul for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a minute. I should have broken this up into a couple so it wasn't so long, but thank you so much for joining me. I will link everybody's information in the box below, so be sure and check them out. And I thank you for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day, y'all. Bye.